Alo.
Hello, girly pops. My name is Singalore Dubs, and welcome back to Alo. And the drink of the day is coconut water. Okay, girl, have you ever been in the middle of something super cool? Something that you've begged the universe for. You've been manifesting it, okay? You prayed for it. And in the middle of it, a little voice in your head tells you, you don't belong here. They're going to find out that you are a fake. You're just pretending. Everyone's going to notice. Yeah, I've been there too. And if you're related to that, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about imposter syndrome, okay? And nope, we're not talking about the cutesy TikTok version, the Pinterest version of like, I'm not good enough. No. We are talking about the real life, low-key spiraling type of, they're going to find out that you have no idea what you're doing and you're going to get fired type of thing. That's what we're going today. And in case you did relate to what I was talking about, but you've never heard the term, imposter syndrome is that messy little cocktail of perfectionism, self-doubt, and fear that everyone around you is better at whatever you're doing than you, and that they're going to find out that you're just vibing your way through it. And it's not necessarily like an insecurity, it's more like a little glitch that goes on in your brain that tells you that your achievements are fake, even when there's tangible proof that they're real. And this is the type of situations that make me feel the most imposter syndrome ever. Basically, anything related to being an influencer, anything related to being a content creator, girl, that will make me feel like an imposter 100%. I feel like whenever there's something relating to influencing, I always feel less than. I feel less qualified. I feel like I have less followers, less engagement, less numbers, less this and this and that, less partnerships, whatever you want to call it in the influencer world. I feel like I'm not good enough. Last year, I got invited to a Huda Beauty event, and I think forever I felt like Huda Beauty is just the it girl in terms of makeup. I've been obsessed with them since they launched the freaking eyelashes and the little lipsticks, and that people were making like the vines with the lipsticks, or like it wasn't Vine, I think it's like Instagrams, maybe Reels. I don't think Reels were a thing at the time. Anyways, I've loved Huda Beauty since the very beginning. So when they invited me to an influencer event, I was like, oh my god, what in the world? What's my life? And I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of anxiety leading up to the event. And mind you, at that point, I was struggling a lot with like social anxiety. So social gatherings were not great for it. But the imposter syndrome was really what was speaking through. Because a big fear of mine was like, oh my gosh, it's an influencer event. There's going to be other influencers there. Like, I'm not going to know anybody. What if they're not nice? I'm going to be uglier. I'm not going to be as dressed up as them. I'm not going to have as much numbers. Like, I'm going to be the smallest creator there. I had all of these ideas of why I wasn't good enough to be there. And also, it didn't help that they invited me the day before the event. So, like, imagine the event was like on a Friday. They invited me like on a Thursday afternoon. Okay. So in my head, I was like, shut the front door. They literally, maybe someone canceled and like a space opened up and they invited me, but it's not like I was the first pick, or like, at least I don't think I was. So heading up to the event, I had all of these ideas of, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, why am I even here? And even at the event, someone asked me, oh, so what type of content do you do? And I was like, oh, nothing related to makeup. I have no idea why I'm here. Girl, shut up. Okay, like, it's okay that you're scared, but you don't have to be airing it out to everybody. Anyways, I get to the event, and the event was absolutely lovely. I actually knew a lot of girls that were there, and there were other girls that came up to me and they knew me, like they've been following me, and I made a lot of friends. And I wasn't the smaller creator there. There were people that were way smaller than me. It was like all of these ideas that I had of, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough, immediately went away. And that's an example with an event, right? But I feel like I have this little mental breakdown regarding social media, at least bi-weekly, okay? Where I'll simply be like, my numbers suck, I'm never going to make it, like I'm literally the worst content creator ever, my videos don't blow up, I only get 200 views, I post a single video and I get unfollows like there's no tomorrow, like why am I even doing this? And I have this mental breakdown bi-weekly, okay? Where I'm literally sobbing and crying because I put so much love and sweat and tears and time and effort and all of this and money into being a creator, and it simply hasn't like happened for me. And then all of a sudden, a package from Valentino shows up. Actually, give me 1 second because I have it right here. And if you're in the audio version of this, I am so sorry, but go to YouTube or Spotify, so that you can see this package. Valentino, ladies and gentlemen, like the designer brand, send me a package. Excuse me? Like, Ingalore, what do you mean you suck at this? What do you mean you haven't made it? What do you mean like nothing good has come of this? Like, you're working with some of your dream brands. Huda Beauty, Valentino, Prada. Prada has sent me. Last year, Prada sent me their entire collection of lipsticks. Their entire collection. Not 6 months go by without Prada sending me their new perfume. It might sound like I'm bragging, okay? And I low-key kind of am, but here's the thing. I am not exempt from imposter syndrome, and you might see my life and you might see the piles of packages I get and think, oh my god, she's literally made it in this world because she's getting packages from brands. But in reality, all the time I'm like very self-aware of, I'm not good enough. What am I even doing here? But here's a little twist. Imposter syndrome shows up the most when you're doing things that you used to only dream about. Think about it for a second. Isn't that wild? It's basically your brain telling you, wait, we are doing this for real? Like us, we are doing this for real? And it just starts glitching because it's unfamiliar with the feeling. And here's one little tip that's helped me. Okay, I feel like I'm a very visual person and I just need to like know the facts. I have a "you did that" note on my phone. I know, it sounds stupid. Okay, I get it. I don't care. And on those notes, I have the first time Prada reached out on an email. I don't know, imagine like December 1st, 2022, Prada reached out to me for PR. And then October 11, 2024, I went to a Huda Beauty event. I have those type of things on those notes because it's kind of hard to argue with yourself when you have the proofs written down. And this is not to say that like I don't have imposter syndrome at all. Like I have it. I mean, I literally just told you I have it. I had a little breakdown like on Saturday last week, okay? Regardless, when you see it, when you're feeling so sucky, like if you're in an event, if you're doing whatever it is that is new and you feel so terrified, dude, I just pull up my phone and I'm like, okay, bitch, like here's everything you did. You are doing just fine. Can't argue with that. Now, what are some things that could trigger the imposter syndrome? Bestie, social media. And it's fine. I'm not going to tell you to like delete social media, whatever. No. When you're seeing everybody like strangers, friends, whatever, being like, I bought my first house at 25 or I made my first 6-figure month. Yeah, like slay, but I know for a fact you were crying 30 minutes before you did that reel in the shower because your life was falling apart, okay? I know it for a fact. So it's not inherently social media. It's comparison that makes us feel like we're behind. It simply makes you feel unqualified because if you're comparing your day 3 to somebody's year 5, no shit, you're going to feel like you're behind. And let me say this for the girls in the back. You are not behind. You're simply in progress, dude. You are just in progress. And here's an analogy that hit me really, really hard. Do you ever walk into a room, an event, a gathering, whatever it is, and you immediately feel like you walked into the big kid table? Like you're a first grader and you're hanging out with, you know, the high schoolers, whatever, and you're like, what am I doing here? Like you're looking around and thinking, God, all of these people are so much smarter than me, so much more experienced than me. It's like someone's going to come tap you on your shoulder and be like, wrong table. This is what I imagine seat fillers feel like at award shows. Like imagine the Oscars, you know, like how if a celebrity goes to the bathroom, someone has to come in and like fill in the seat while they come back, and then the celebrity comes back and they're like, I'm back, goodbye. That's literally what it feels like. And it's wild because it's not because you're underqualified. You are usually qualified, but you haven't accepted that you are. And guess what? Most times the room that you're in doesn't need you to be an expert at whatever the topic is, okay? It just needs your opinion. It needs your perspective. It needs your vibe about it. So maybe stop focusing on what you're not, what you don't have, what others have, and start focusing on what you are right now. Listen, if I walk into a room full of attorneys, okay, like, no, I'm not an attorney and I'm not going to have all the knowledge that they have. But I can absolutely keep up a conversation about the politics that are going on right now. Okay, so like I can continue to focus on, I'm not an attorney, I don't know all the laws by heart, I haven't passed the bar, this and this and that. No, okay, like I can focus on that because that's just going to panic me, because it literally will panic me. I can only focus on the things that I do have. Ooh. And let me tell you also when imposter syndrome happens, when you have outgrown your life and are trying to settle into a new one, but you're not quite there yet. You're like in an in-between space where you've done the healing, like you moved to a new city, you left your previous relationship, you have a new job, or you might have started a new business, like whichever it is, you're now in this like super weird identity limbo. And honestly, like imposter syndrome in those times, oof, it's rough. It's rough because you're not longer who you were and like in the space that you were at, but you're not quite where you want to be. You're like in this in between that you're like, do I run? Do I hide? What do I do? It's kind of like when you buy a new pair of jeans. They're your jeans, but they don't feel like your jeans. You haven't stretched them out. You haven't stretched out the waistband. Like they haven't like fully adapted to your body. Like that's what being in this identity limbo feels like new jeans. And when you're in this limbo, bestie, honestly, having a circle, and I don't mean a big circle, I mean it can be your family, it can be your besties, it can be your cousins, whoever it is. It's important to have these people because imposter syndrome feels like the biggest thing out there. It feels so magnified and like you can't deal with it. But when you say it out loud, it shrinks a little bit. And, you know, these circle are there to remind you, dude, those pants are going to fit. You are going to adapt into whoever it is you want to be. Like, you will be fine. Having people, honestly, and like having a support system is always helpful. But I feel like especially when imposter syndrome can lead to depression, if it's not controlled and if not treated up properly. So having people there for you, big slay. And now that we know what it is, we understood it, we need to reframe it, okay? Because if imposter syndrome is not controlled, it can lead you to spiraling that honestly will take you to very, very dark places, and we don't want to go there. So let's just reframe it. Have you ever thought about what if imposter syndrome literally means that you're at the right place? Because yeah, of course, it's uncomfortable, but so is growth. Like if you weren't in a place that was challenging you, making you better, something that you actually care about, you wouldn't be worried about it. Because usually when we're kind of like, I don't care if I go to this or that, like it's not forcing you to grow. It's not taking you out of your comfort zone. It's not making you any better. So next time your brain is telling you, you're underqualified, girl, like get out of here, literally say stop. Whisper it in your head, say it out loud if you have to, go to the bathroom and look at the mirror and say stop. Because actually, like I actually read about it in a book when I was very little, like after my first breakup. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to ever survive this. And little do you know, I did in fact survive it. Anyways, say it out loud, say it in your head, whatever you want, it'll make it stop and it'll bring you right back to reality. Or maybe it'll tell you you're not qualified and you'll say, yep, but I'm learning. Okay, girlies, and kind of just to like sum this up, what did we learn from this episode? Number one, you're not pretending and you're not underqualified. You're there, you're showing up, and you're learning, and that's what's important. Number two, imposter syndrome doesn't mean that you're underqualified. It simply means that you're growing, and growth is uncomfortable. Number three, please write down some things that make you proud, okay? Some things that make you happy, some things that make you feel worthy or whatever. That's your real resume, not the one you're making in Canva or in Word. This is your real resume. And number four, stop waiting for a moment to make you feel legit. Okay, that moment is literally never going to come. It's only going to come when you decide that you are legit. No situation is going to make you feel that way. It's your decision. Anyways, girly pops, that was it for this episode. And if you related to it and if you've struggled to any degree with the imposter syndrome or you're still struggling with it, please feel free to DM me. You can find me on every social as @Alo Podcast or @Ingeloredubs. Thank you so much for listening and thank you for giving me your time. Besitos.